Welcome back to Capitol Review. I'm Mark Hall. Polls show that the majority of Americans are not satisfied with President Trump's first 100 days. But a longtime political strategist says that the president is on the right track. And joining us on Capitol Review is Jeffrey Lord, a former White House aide to President Reagan, a current Republican political strategist and Newsmax contributor. Jeffrey, welcome back to Capitol Review.
Good to be here, my friend. Good to be here.
We're always glad to have you, Jeffrey. You recently wrote a column in the American Spectator that President Trump is winning in his first 100 days. Tell us why.
Well, you know, first of all, the 100-day marker, this was something begun by President Franklin Roosevelt. And for those who may not know the history, he took office, of course, in those days, presidents were sworn in March, on March 4th. He took office in the middle of what we know is now in history as the Great Depression. Things were terrible. And FDR was a flurry of activity. I think he had something like 15 pieces of major legislation passed in those first 100 days. But he set the 100-day marker. And it made such an impression that every president since, voluntarily or not, gets judged on this. President Kennedy, in his inaugural address of all places, said that what he was proposing in his inaugural address would not be accomplished in the first 100 days or the first 1,000 days or perhaps even the life of this administration, but let us begin. So this is always sort of the marker, and here we go. And President Trump, I think, is very well aware of this. So he has been going on very quickly to make progress with the border, getting the border cleaned up. Inflation is down. He is running through the gamut here and dealing with foreign policies. So it's very important in this day and age, particularly now, even more so in FDR's era. He would report to the nation in what they called a fireside chat, which was a radio address. Well, in today's world, no matter who the president is, those television cameras follow you around everywhere on the spot. So you really got to be in action.
Jeffrey, a lot of Americans have concerns. The majority of Americans have concerns about the president's long-term plan regarding tariffs. Your response to that?
Yeah, remember that Donald Trump is the guy who wrote The Art of the Deal. And I think his position on tariffs is very much deal-making, and that he is interested in getting fair trade for the United States. He feels the United States has not been treated fairly. This is his way of starting to open negotiations to get to where he would like to see the country be.
Talk about the next 100 days. Where do you think the president has momentum going forward?
Oh, yeah, I think he's definitely got the momentum. The deal with presidents, and having worked with one, I can see how it works. It's like sand through an hourglass. It starts out completely full, and then the sand slowly trickles down and out. And that's what happens to any president. They start out full of energy with all sorts of political backing and all of this kind of thing, and then ever so slowly, their political strength sort of drains away. People begin to focus inevitably on the congressional elections upcoming, and then they start focusing on, in this case, the 2028 elections, who will be the next president. It's sort of Washington at its worst, but I'm afraid that's the way it works.
Jeffrey Lord, thank you so very much for joining us.
You bet. Good to see you.
Good to see you.